A hero stands before a massive, never-sleeping dragon whose eyes burn like molten gold in the darkness. This creature hasn't closed its eyes for a single moment in decades, guarding the most precious treasure in the ancient world. One wrong move, and our hero becomes the beast's next meal. Welcome to one of Greek mythology's most heart-stopping moments, where Jason of Iolcus faces the ultimate test of his legendary quest. But to understand the magnitude of this confrontation, we need to journey back to ancient Greece, where gods walked among mortals and heroes shaped the fate of kingdoms. In the world of ancient Greece, myths weren't just stories. They were the foundation of culture, explaining everything from natural phenomena to human nature itself. These tales taught lessons about courage, hubris, love, and destiny that still resonate today. Our story begins with Jason, rightful heir to the throne of Iolcus. His uncle Peleus had stolen his birthright, but offered a deal. Bring back the golden fleece from distant Colchis and reclaim your crown. This wasn't just any fleece. It came from the golden ram that had saved Phrixus and Helle, children of King Athamas. The ram's hide possessed divine power, symbolizing authority and kingship itself. Jason assembled the greatest heroes of his generation: Hercules, with his incredible strength; Orpheus, whose music could charm even stones; Atalanta, the fierce huntress. Together they became the Argonauts, named after their ship Argo, built with timber from Zeus's sacred oak grove. Their journey across the wine-dark sea brought countless adventures. They navigated between the deadly clashing rocks, fought harpies, and survived storms sent by angry gods. But nothing prepared them for what awaited in Colchis. King Aeetes of Colchis had no intention of surrendering his treasure. He set Jason 3 impossible tasks. First, yoke 2 fire-breathing bronze bulls and plough a field. Second, sow dragons' teeth in the furrows and defeat the armed warriors that would spring from the earth. Third, and most terrifying of all, face the sleepless dragon that coiled around the tree holding the golden fleece. This wasn't any ordinary serpent. Ancient sources describe it as massive beyond imagination, with scales harder than bronze armor and venom that could kill with a single drop. Its eyes never closed, never blinked, never looked away from its precious charge. For years it had remained vigilant, devouring anyone foolish enough to approach. But Jason had an unexpected ally. Medea, King Aeetes' own daughter and a powerful sorceress, had fallen deeply in love with a handsome hero. Aphrodite herself had struck her with Cupid's arrow, ensuring her devotion. And Medea possessed knowledge of herbs, potions, and ancient magic that could accomplish the impossible. For the first 2 tasks, Medea provided Jason with a magical ointment that protected him from fire and gave him superhuman strength. She warned him that the dragon's teeth would sprout into fully armed warriors, but taught him to throw a stone among them, causing them to fight each other instead of him. But the dragon presented a different challenge entirely. No amount of strength or cleverness could defeat a creature that never slept, never tired, and never let down its guard. This required magic of the most potent kind. As night fell over Colchis, Jason and Medea crept through the sacred grove of Ares. Ancient trees twisted overhead, their branches heavy with shadows and whispered secrets. At the grove's heart stood the massive oak tree, its trunk scarred by centuries of wind and weather. Coiled around this ancient oak, the dragon waited. Its body was thick as a ship's mast, stretching in endless loops around the tree. Golden scales caught moonlight, creating an almost hypnotic pattern of light and shadow. Those terrible eyes fixed on the approaching figures, pupils dilating with predatory focus. Medea stepped forward, her voice rising in an ancient incantation. She called upon Hecate, goddess of magic and crossroads, and upon the power of herbs gathered under the full moon. In her hands, she held a branch of juniper, sacred to the gods below, and began to sprinkle it with a potion she'd prepared. The dragon's massive head swayed, following her movements. Its forked tongue tasted the air, sensing danger, but unable to identify the threat. For the first time in decades, confusion clouded those golden eyes. Medea's spell grew stronger. She sang of sleep, of rest, of the peace that comes to all living things. Her magic reached deep into the dragon's ancient mind, fighting against its divine nature, its sacred duty to remain forever watchful. Slowly, incredibly, the great beast's eyelids began to droop. Its massive coils loosened slightly around the tree trunk. The head that had never bowed in sleep began to sink toward the earth. Jason watched in amazement as the impossible happened. The sleepless dragon, guardian of the golden fleece for countless years, finally succumbed to Medea's powerful enchantment. Its breathing deepened, became regular, and those terrible golden eyes closed at last. Moving with careful precision, Jason climbed the sacred oak. There, hanging from the highest branch, the golden fleece gleamed like captured sunlight. Its wool seemed to glow within a fire, warm to the touch despite the cool night air. As his fingers closed around it, Jason felt the weight of destiny itself. But Medea's spell wouldn't last forever. Already, The dragon stirred restlessly, sensing the theft of its charge. Jason leaped down from the tree, the precious fleece in his arms, as the great serpent began to wake. Together, Jason and Medea fled through the darkness, the dragon's furious roars echoing behind them. They'd accomplished the impossible, but at a terrible cost. Medea had betrayed her father and her homeland for love. She would never see Colchis again. This confrontation reveals profound truths about human nature. Sometimes, our greatest challenges can't be overcome through strength alone. They require wisdom, allies, and the courage to accept help from unexpected sources. Jason's victory came not from his sword or his muscles, but from his willingness to trust Medea's magic. The story also explores love's transformative power. Medea's devotion gave Jason the tools he needed to succeed, but it also demanded enormous sacrifice. She gave up everything familiar for an uncertain future with a foreign hero. The Golden Fleece itself represents the prizes we pursue in life. Sometimes achieving our dreams requires facing our deepest fears, accepting help from others, and recognizing that victory often comes with unexpected costs. This myth has inspired countless works of art, from ancient Greek pottery to modern films. The image of a hero facing an impossible guardian resonates across cultures and centuries, reminding us that courage isn't the absence of fear, but action despite fear. Jason's confrontation with the dragon of Colchis remains one of mythology's most powerful moments, a testament to human ingenuity, the power of love, and the eternal struggle between duty and desire that defines the human experience.